chance also to speak. I've been away for a very long time, but now I'm back. I want to thank the members who stood with me during that bad time. Madam Speaker, land is very important to this country, and we live because of food and water. Madam Speaker, many people in this country are starving because of where they live, like our brothers and sisters in Turkana and Northeastern, because there's no rains there, Madam Speaker. But Madam Speaker, I concur with the Honorable Mbati with his contribution that there are people in this country, Madam Speaker, who owns thousands and thousands of acres of land. There's one person, Madam Speaker, in this country who owns 56,000 acres of land. And Madam Speaker, that land is not properly utilized. And it is fertile land, the way I know. And there's a Kenyan even, it was in the papers one time, who buried his mother in 1,000 acres. And Madam Speaker, as a House, I'm supporting this motion that, Madam Speaker, this land these people owns in thousands, they did not buy. They just grabbed. They did not buy this land, Madam Speaker, they just grabbed. And we need to pass the laws, Madam Speaker, that if you are not using land, that you own thousands of land and you are not using it, Madam Speaker, either the government should buy that land to give to the people who are needy, who want to use, who can produce food for the country, Madam Speaker, or else they surrender it to the government, because even if they own it, but they not get it in a proper way. So we need to get a method on how we can bring this land back to the people who are needy. People can be brought even from Turkana to own land in Kitale, because this country is for everybody. And they can get food to take to our people there. I support this motion, Madam Speaker. I want to thank Honorable Ferdinand Wanyonyi for coming up with this motion. And we need to be serious, and on a motion like this one, Madam Speaker, when we pass it, action must be taken so that we save this country from those crappers. There are forests, Madam Speaker, when you pass, sometimes when I pass on my way in a plane, when the trees are cut down, Madam Speaker, there are people, tomorrow, over 1,000 people have gone to that forest, building temporary houses, cropping forest land, Madam Speaker. We need to adjust the laws for the forest so that we protect the forest cover for this country, Madam Speaker. Because the way this country is going, Madam Speaker, in another 20 years, if we are going the way it is going, we are all going to die if we are not serious with our forest cover. The water towers are taken over by by croppers. So, Madam Speaker, I support that the implementation committee, when this motion is passed, Madam Speaker, it should be implemented with immediate effect. So, I support. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Honorable members, allow me to recognize the following students seated at the public gallery. Number 1, AIC Kipsangui Boys High School, Soy constituency, Uasin Gishu County. Number 2, Kabungut Boys High School from Bomet Central constituency, from Bomet County. On behalf of the House and on my own behalf, allow me to welcome them to observe the proceedings of the House. The next chance will go to the member for North Imenti, Honorable Rahim.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I will not say whether I am for this motion or not, because of one reason I have already told Honorable Ferdinand Wanyonyi. When we say regarding minimum land should not be a case at all, because there are places like Honorable Badi has just talked about, Meru, Kisii, Nyamira. Yes, what if somebody has only 1 acre of land and then the Committee on Implementation says that is the minimum? We should have different categories of minimum, whether it is in an urban area or semi-urban, because that is how it should be. Madam Speaker, when we say maximum, yes, I agree with the maximum rule, where we should put land to productive use, because Article 60 land policy says you have to have security of land, and that is enshrined in the Constitution. But Honorable Waluke, when he was talking, I think he talked from both sides of his mouth. When he said that there is a person or a family which owns 56,000 acres of land, which they were given for free, Madam Speaker. If they were given for free in one sentence, he says, and in the next sentence he says, we should pay them for that land so that they can give it to people to do productive. I think if it was given for free, then it should be given back for free, not be sold. So, Madam Speaker, when we are talking about land, land is an emotive issue in this country, and we should have, where people have got big tracts of land, we should come up with a policy that if you are not using that land for productive use, then you have to pay money for that land to be there. Because if you are not going to use it, let other people use it, or let it be leased to other people. Because if it's freehold land, then definitely because of Article 60, you are protected by the law, that because of security of land rights and everything, but that does not, it's not a blanket protection by the law. We should see how we can lease that land at a minimal cost, or otherwise the landowner every year should pay land rates, because Madam Speaker, a freehold land does not attract land rates. And we need to know that if somebody has got obscene, like he said, 56,000 acres, I'm wondering, some people even have 100,000 acres. Some people even own a whole county. 60% of the county is owned by an individual. And if that is the case, then, Madam Speaker, they need to pay for that land per acre. And that is when Honorable Ferdinand Wanyonyi from Kwanza needs to come up with what reparations can be done, because otherwise we are just going to have people owning land and not being put to productive use. Madam Speaker, on the minimum, acreage of land. In urban areas, Madam Speaker, we can definitely not put it.